Oh, right. And in other news, Samsung actually pulled a similar move. So the legendary 970 EVO Plus, fantastic drive for the money. Samsung actually went and this is really complicated. It looks like my notes here don't cover all the details about this, but basically what Samsung did was, because of the silicon shortage and because of the COVID restrictions, the factory that makes the controller in the 970 EVO Plus has apparently been offline since about February. So due to shortages, they're actually apparently using the same controller from the 980 Pro. This is all out of memory for me because this is not in my notes, but if I recall correctly, that is the case.
Right.
That sounds on paper like an upgrade, right? Except that one of the key functions of the controller in the 980 Pro is PCI Express Gen 4 compatibility. That's turned off. So what Samsung has done is they have increased the cache from 45 gigs to 112 gigs. They've changed the packaging and the write speed when you're not using that SLC cache. So theoretically, you might not notice this change because you've got a larger cache, but the write speed when you're not using the cache has gone from about 1,500 megabytes per second to just 800. So what sounds on the surface like an upgrade does not actually appear to be an upgrade, which I would say is unfortunate. But this isn't fortune. This is intentional. They knew it. They knew they did it. They changed the packaging. And they expected us to just keep buying the 970 EVO Plus, thinking that it's still the same drive we loved. Samsung, come on, you're the vertically integrated one. You're the one that I'm supposed to be able to just recommend without worrying about it at all. You know who I don't think has ever been embroiled in one of these controversies? I don't think Intel has. I've had my own issues with Intel SSDs, but...
Crucial?
Crucial. Has Crucial ever pulled an SSD? You know what? I think they have. That kind of rings a bell. I think Crucial has probably changed NAND, although I don't know if they've ever been caught with a clear downgrade. I'll have to count on the chat to let me know.
Buyer beware. Crucial swaps P2 SSDs TLC NAND for slower chips. RIP. RIP Crucial. Yeah. I tried. I mean, I just kind of thought, like, I haven't heard any news about Crucial in a long time, so maybe they're okay, but apparently not.
Black Darkstorm asks, what about Sabrent? I don't think Sabrent has managed to attract any controversy yet, but Sabrent, unlike a lot of these other companies, WD, Crucial, Intel to a lesser extent now, but at least before, Samsung for sure, these guys are all to some extent vertically integrated, which is to say that they manufacture the components that make up the finished product.
This news is from this month.
Oh, Crucial?
Yeah, this was August 16th.
Oh, well, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, Gremlin Injector says SK Hynix, but nobody cares about them and most of their customers are system integrators. So for all we know, they have swapped things, but that would have been something they would have coordinated with the system integrator because no one cares about the spec of an SK Hynix drive. They care about the spec of the computer. So as long as that's maintained, then I guess it doesn't matter. With that said, SK Hynix has some really solid drives these days. Like if I recall correctly, they have... It's not one of the most performant drives, but their P31, this is off the top of my head, sorry, their P31 is super power efficient. So in terms of performance per watt, if I recall correctly, that's a really outstanding drive. They don't get enough credit because they've been around a long time making OEM drives, as you alluded to, but they just don't have the recognition in the consumer space. Max the Everything 7 on Floatplane says, I mean, Samsung had literally been pushing their 980 DRAM-less SSDs on Amazon as equal to their Evo and Pro lines. Yeah, that's fair. Ascopti says, Kioxia. I don't think Kioxia has been nailed. I don't think so. Or even Toshiba, pre-Kioxia. I mean, one of the companies they acquired definitely ran afoul of these kinds of these kinds of guidelines we're providing, don't change products without telling the consumer. The Kioxia or Toshiba acquired OCZ way back in the day, and they definitely they definitely had issues
Yeah,
with
that
that.
was, yep, just a few. SK Hynix, is their public popularity more of a North American thing?
Like their lack of it, you mean?
Yeah,
That could be. I know that they've
because like
been.
when if you remember when I was trying to get my RAM and drives for my previous Geodude system,
Yeah.
the problem was that they didn't have availability in North America, not that they didn't have availability.
Got it.
So I
Um,
don't know, but I think I'm not sure. Might be more popular elsewhere, might just completely not be. I don't know.
Newegg has almost no reviews for pretty much anything SK Hynix, but the Gold P31, that SSD I alluded to before, has almost 1,000 ratings on Amazon. So it seems like that's something that they are addressing, at least to a degree.
Mhm.
Yeah, wow. Their 500 gig version on Newegg.com has over 4,000 reviews, 5 stars. So it's funny because these fortunes always come and go, right? Like SK Hynix for many years, like way back in the day, I'm talking like 15 years ago, right? Like SK Hynix had a reputation for being like the crappy RAM on your GPU. That was kind of the only
Yeah,
context that you'd
yeah,
have for SK Hynix is like, oh, you better hope you get Samsung chips because if you get the SK Hynix version, your RAM won't overclock as well, like stuff like that. But nowadays, they're actually building a reputation around power efficiency and solid performance, even if it's not industry-leading performance. Like I don't even think they have a Gen 4 drive yet. They're going slow and steady wins the race, I guess.
yeah.